The tale of Pegasus, one of the most iconic figures in Greek mythology, begins with a dramatic and extraordinary origin story that intertwines with the fates of gods, monsters, and heroes. Pegasus's saga starts with the defeat of the formidable Gorgon Medusa by the valiant hero Perseus. Once a beautiful maiden, Medusa's tragic transformation into a monstrous being with serpents for hair was a punishment from the goddess Athena. This transformation occurred after Poseidon, the god of the sea, defiled Medusa in Athena's sacred temple. Medusa's metamorphosis into a creature capable of turning anyone who gazed upon her into stone marked her story with sorrow and tragedy. It is from this tragic event that the magnificent Pegasus emerges. Perseus, tasked with the formidable mission of decapitating Medusa, sought divine assistance from the gods Athena and Hermes. They equipped him with essential tools for the perilous task: a reflective shield, winged sandals, a sickle, and a magical bag to safely contain Medusa's head. Utilizing the shield as a mirror to avoid Medusa's petrifying gaze, Perseus successfully severed her head with a decisive blow. From the blood that flowed from her neck sprang a miraculous sight. Pegasus, the resplendent winged horse, appeared fully grown and radiant. Alongside Pegasus, the giant warrior Chrysaor emerged, making the death of Medusa a birth moment for two remarkable beings. Pegasus's birth is significant on multiple levels. Firstly, it establishes his direct connection to the divine and monstrous realms of Greek mythology. As the offspring of Poseidon in his horse form, Pegasus is inherently linked to both the sea and horses. This divine lineage explains why Pegasus is often associated with these elements. Secondly, the nature of his birth from Medusa's blood signifies Pegasus as a creature of both extraordinary beauty and immense power. This duality reflects the broader themes in Greek mythology, where light and dark often exist in balance. Such a dramatic origin story sets the stage for Pegasus's subsequent adventures and his role as a symbol of freedom and transcendence. Following his miraculous birth, Pegasus immediately took flight, soaring into the skies and symbolizing a being unconstrained by earthly limitations. His newfound freedom would soon lead him to the greatest of Greek heroes, Bellerophon, with whom he would embark on a series of legendary adventures. The saga of Pegasus and Bellerophon is one of the most celebrated partnerships in ancient mythology, rivaling other famous duos such as Achilles and Patroclus, or Heracles and Iolaus. Bellerophon, a young hero renowned for his bravery and noble lineage, found his destiny intertwined with Pegasus, which would propel him into the realm of legend. Bellerophon's quest to capture Pegasus was driven by his understanding that possessing such a mighty steed would greatly enhance his chances of achieving greatness. Bellerophon's ambition was not unfounded. He had already demonstrated his heroism through numerous valiant deeds. But to undertake his most perilous quest, the defeat of the fearsome Chimera, he required more than mere courage. The Chimera, a monstrous creature with a lion's body, a goat's head, and a serpent's tail, was wreaking havoc across the land. Its fiery breath and near invincibility made it an adversary beyond the reach of ordinary warriors. Bellerophon recognized that the strength and speed of Pegasus were essential for his success. However, taming Pegasus was a challenge in itself. The winged horse, as wild and untamed as the wind, was not easily subdued. It was the goddess Athena who came to Bellerophon's aid, providing him with a golden bridle and advising him on its use to tame the unruly steed. In a dream, Athena bestowed the divine gift upon Bellerophon, which would allow him to control the otherwise untamable creature. Upon awakening, Bellerophon discovered the golden bridle beside him, confirming that the gods were indeed favoring him. With the bridle in hand, Bellerophon approached Pegasus as the horse drank from the sacred spring of Pyrene. This spring, said to have been created by Pegasus himself when his hoof struck the earth, was a place of purity and magic. As Bellerophon placed the bridle on Pegasus, the great horse accepted it without resistance, and a powerful bond was established between them. Together, Bellerophon and Pegasus embarked on their most famous adventure, the slaying of the Chimera. Riding on the back of the winged horse, Bellerophon could evade the Chimera's fiery breath and lethal claws. From the sky, he struck the beast with his spear, ultimately defeating it and saving the kingdom from destruction. This triumph solidified Bellerophon's status as a hero and showcased the extraordinary power and grace of Pegasus. Their partnership extended beyond the defeat of the Chimera. Bellerophon, emboldened by his victory and the favor of the gods, undertook additional quests with Pegasus by his side. The duo became inseparable, with Bellerophon relying on Pegasus for both literal and metaphorical elevation. However, in Greek mythology, hubris often leads to downfall, and Bellerophon's pride would eventually lead to his undoing. Despite his many successes, Bellerophon's pride swelled, leading him to seek even greater glory. His victories, his bond with Pegasus, and the favor of the gods gave him a sense of invincibility. This excessive pride, or hubris, would be his downfall. Bellerophon, driven by the desire for eternal glory, attempted something no mortal had dared. He sought to ride Pegasus to Mount Olympus, the abode of the gods. Such an ambition was a grave affront to the ancient Greek understanding of the cosmos, where the boundary between mortals and immortals was strictly maintained. Even though Bellerophon had been favored by the gods, his arrogance in believing he could join their divine ranks was a serious transgression. As Bellerophon ascended on Pegasus, approaching the gates of Olympus, Zeus, the king of the gods, took notice of his audacious attempt. Infuriated by Bellerophon's defiance of the natural order, Zeus sent a gadfly to sting Pegasus. The sudden pain caused Pegasus to buck violently, throwing Bellerophon from his back and sending him plummeting to the earth below. Unlike Icarus, who fell due to his own recklessness, Bellerophon's fall was a divine punishment for his hubris. Bellerophon survived the fall but was left crippled and blind, a mere shadow of the hero he had once been. He wandered the earth in misery, shunned by both gods and men, serving as a cautionary tale about the perils of overstepping mortal bounds and challenging divine authority. Pegasus, meanwhile, flew on, free once more and unbound by any rider. This moment marks a pivotal shift in the myth, illustrating the contrast between mortal limitations and the eternal, untouchable nature of divine beings like Pegasus. Having freed himself from Bellerophon, Pegasus was welcomed by Zeus into the celestial realm of Olympus. There, Pegasus was honored with the role of bearer of Zeus's thunderbolts. This position was of great significance, as Zeus's thunderbolts were not only symbols of his supreme power, but also instruments of divine justice. By carrying these divine weapons, Pegasus became a crucial figure in maintaining the cosmic order. Pegasus's association with the thunderbolts reinforced his role as a divine intermediary, capable of traversing between the mortal world and the realm of the gods. As the bearer of Zeus's thunderbolts, Pegasus was often depicted in mythology, accompanying Zeus during storms, soaring through the skies with thunder and lightning following in his wake. His presence in the heavens symbolized divine control over natural forces and served as a reminder of the gods' power to shape the world. Yet, Pegasus's story does not conclude with his service to Zeus. In a final tribute to this extraordinary creature, Zeus immortalized Pegasus by placing him among the stars as a constellation. This celestial transformation marked Pegasus's full transition from the mortal realm to the eternal, becoming a permanent fixture in the cosmos. The constellation of Pegasus, composed of 4 bright stars forming a large square known as the Great Square of Pegasus, has been observed for millennia and holds significance not only in Greek mythology, but also in astronomy and navigation. For the ancient Greeks, the sight of Pegasus in the night sky served as a reminder of his storied life, his freedom, and his divine connections. The constellation ensured that Pegasus would be remembered for eternity, transcending the mortal plane and becoming an integral part of the cosmos. Pegasus's elevation to the heavens also symbolized the concept of immortality through memory and storytelling. By placing Pegasus among the stars, the Greeks ensured that his legend would be passed down through generations, continuing to inspire those who looked up at the sky. The transformation of Pegasus into a constellation reflects broader themes in Greek mythology: the tension between mortality and immortality, the relationship between gods and humans, and the quest for transcendence. For the ancient Greeks, the stars were not merely distant lights, but living symbols of their myths, gods, and heroes. By observing Pegasus in the night sky, they could connect with the stories of their ancestors, keeping those stories alive. Even as Pegasus's mythological journey concludes with his celestial placement, his influence extended far beyond ancient Greece. Pegasus's legacy inspired artists, poets, and storytellers throughout history. From classical antiquity to modern times, Pegasus has remained a symbol of imagination, creativity, and the pursuit of freedom. In ancient Greek art, Pegasus frequently appeared as a symbol of divine inspiration and heroism. Sculptures, pottery, and mosaics often depicted the winged horse, sometimes alongside figures like Bellerophon or Perseus. These artistic representations underscored Pegasus's connection to the divine and his role in mythological narratives of adventure and triumph. Artists used Pegasus to symbolize the idea of transcending human limitations, both physically and metaphorically, making him a potent symbol for those striving for greatness. Pegasus's image also held a special place in literature, particularly among poets and writers who saw the winged horse as a metaphor for artistic inspiration. One notable example is the Roman poet Hesiod, who mentioned Pegasus in his Theogony. Hesiod wrote that Pegasus was born alongside the Muses, the goddesses of the arts and sciences. This association with the Muses further solidified Pegasus's role as a symbol of creativity and poetic inspiration. Pegasus came to represent the creative spirit's ability to rise above the mundane world and reach new heights of understanding and beauty. During the Renaissance, Pegasus emerged as a favored symbol for writers and artists exploring themes of imagination and transcendence. The winged horse was frequently used as a metaphor for poetry and art's power to elevate the soul, allowing humans to escape the ordinary and achieve new heights of insight. Writers like Ludovico Ariosto, in his epic Orlando Furioso, portrayed Pegasus as a fantastical creature embodying heroism and magic, blending myth and adventure in captivating ways. In modern times, Pegasus's legacy has continued to evolve, becoming a symbol of freedom and independence. The image of the winged horse soaring through the sky represents the ideal of breaking free from constraints, whether physical, emotional, or societal. In contemporary literature, film, and popular culture, Pegasus remains a compelling figure. His image is used in logos, brands, and emblems, often signifying speed, power, and grace. The concept of Pegasus has transcended his mythological origins, becoming a universal symbol of achievement and aspiration. Pegasus's connection to the arts has endured. Many writers and poets still invoke Pegasus as a symbol of inspiration, using the myth of the winged horse as a metaphor for the creative process. Pegasus's ability to traverse the mortal and divine realms mirrors the artist's capacity to transcend the ordinary and connect with something greater. This enduring association between Pegasus and the creative spirit ensures that his legacy will continue to inspire future generations of artists, poets, and dreamers. Ultimately, Pegasus's legacy is one of transformation and transcendence. From his miraculous birth from Medusa's blood to his elevation among the stars, Pegasus embodies the notion of rising above the constraints of the mortal world to achieve greatness. His story resonates across time and cultures, symbolizing the eternal human aspiration to reach beyond the ordinary and soar into the extraordinary. Whether as a hero's companion, a symbol of artistic inspiration, or a constellation in the night sky, Pegasus remains a timeless figure whose legacy continues to inspire and captivate.